Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to be making this pretty Christmas card. And before I get started, I just wanted to mention I got a question on my Facebook group. The link is listed down below. I do keep it private just to keep out spammers, but if you're interested in Stamping Up or making cards or any of that, please feel free to join. And also, I do post on there a little bit more than I post on YouTube, as well as I post more often on my Instagram if you're interested. And that link is listed down below as well. So we're going to start with a piece of Evening Evergreen, and this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. Let's see, there we go. We'll give it a nice crease. And then the piece we're going to be starting with is just a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to start with this Leaves of Holly stamp set. We're going to be using these 2 leaves to start, and this does have coordinating dies, which I'll show you as we go along. So I'm going to take some soft seafoam ink. Whoops. And as you can see on this card, it's just a really light background on here. So we're going to be stamping off as we go. So I'll take, let's see, I'll start with the smaller leaf. And you can layer these leaves. I chose the a little more detailed rather than the little more solid, but they do layer on top of each other if you're going for that kind of look as well. So all we're going to do is stamp it up, stamp off, and then stamp on our project. And you can see it's very light in the background, but that's what I was going for. So then I'm going to take my bigger one and again stamp off, and then stamp on here, and then we'll stick with the bigger one. Stamp off, and then we'll go towards the bottom of our paper rather. And then again with the smaller one. And you can make any kind of pattern you want with these leaves. You don't see the middle so much, so I'm just going to take a quick peek here. I'm just going to stamp with the smaller one in the corners a little bit, just so it doesn't look quite so cut off. And then maybe we'll do this top corner too. All right, that looks pretty good. So the next thing I did is I have a little bit of a splattering effect. So I took some crumb cake ink, my ink pad, and what I did is I put a little of the re-inker, a few drops in here, and I'm going to take, if I can find it, my water painter. I don't know where it went, but that's okay. I have another one right here. Let's hope there's water in it. There is. Okay. So these come in a pack of 3. They have 3 different tips on them. I'm using the smallest or skinniest tip. And you just want to make sure, does this have water in it? It does not. Let's see. Where did that other one go? Sorry about that. I had it, everything. There it is. I don't have a very big space, so it should be hard to lose things, and yet I lose them all the time. So this one has water in it, which is what you need for this. And I'm just going to push it a little to make sure the water's coming down into the tip. And you can see it is wet on my finger there. So I'm just going to, while I'm pushing, rub it in the re-inker till I've got a good amount on there and it's pretty wet. And I'm just going to come over here and flick. Let's see, maybe I didn't get enough on there. Let's try again. It might not be watery enough yet. There we go. So we're just going to flick some of this color on. And you can do as little or as much as you want. You could even do different colors if that's what you wanted to do too. I'm having a harder time with this. Maybe I'm just not getting enough water. There we go. That's more than enough. Okay. So then if you want, you can clean, I'm going to clean this after, but you just can brush it off like this or use a paper towel and squeeze a little water into it. All right, so moving on, we're going to put that aside. Some of the water still has to dry a little bit because it was a little bit wetter than other places. I'm going to come in and do our sentiment, and that's just Merry Christmas. It's out of the Brightest Glow set. This set does have coordinating dies, which we're not using today, and this is just a great all-around Christmas set to have. So we're going to do Merry Christmas and Cherry Cobbler. This piece, oh, I don't know if I said, this piece of Very Vanilla is 5 1/4 by 4. And then this piece of Very Vanilla is 2 1/2 by 1 1/8. All right. So we're just going to ink up the Merry Christmas and our Cherry Cobbler. And then see if I can get this on straight. Pretty good, pretty good. And then I have a piece of scrap Very Vanilla, and we're going to do some of these berries. Oops, we're going to use Cherry Cobbler again. All right, so what I'm going to do is come in with the fuller berries. The ones you can see, these have more detail in them. So I'm going to come in with the fuller berries and stamp off, and then stamp on. And I found with these berries, using a little bit of a lighter touch works better than heavy-handed, because you can see it kind of splatters in between the berries when you're too heavy-handed. This time we're going to come on full strength and go right over them. Pretty good. All right, so what I had done beforehand is I went through, just to save on time, and I did do the 2 leaves. Now these are the same stamp we used on our background. I used Evening Evergreen, and I went full strength on this. And then I also cut some of these leaves. These are all dies. Let me get it out here. These are for the berries, and these are all dies that are the coordinating dies for the Leaves of Holly stamp set. You can see there's something here nice for your greeting. There's layering you can do with the leaves. It's really very pretty. So I used these 2 pieces and just cut out crumb cake to coordinate. And then we're going to cut out these berries together. I know most of you know 2-step stamping, but I did just want to show you that instead of getting ahead with this piece too. So we're just going to use our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or whatever die cut machine you have. There we go. And then we're just going to push, whoops, I'm taking my whole shirt with it. We're going to just push that through. All right. Here's our piece. Put it over here. And then we're going to put this together, and we're going to add a bow in it too. So I've got my piece here of the Evening Evergreen, and I'm just going to take this background piece we did. Whoops. Let's see. There we go. We're just going to use some Stampin' Seal or whatever adhesive you like, and line this up in the middle. Then what I came in with were my leaves, and I'm just going to use some seal again. And let's see, we'll do it right about here. You could pop those up on dimensionals, but then I thought with the ribbon it might be a little too much popping up. So for these little pieces of branch here with the crumb cake, we're just going to use some glue dots because they're going to be covered, so you're not going to be able to see the glue dot. So we're just going to put them right here, and the other one can go right next to it. All right, right here. All right, that one went over a little far because it'll be cut by the envelope. So I'm just going to move that. There we go. So now I have a piece, or I have some of this seam binding ribbon in soft seafoam, and we're just going to make a quick ribbon. quick bow rather with the ribbon. Let's see if I can, I got my fingers tangled that time. Trying to go too quickly. All right, there we go. And then you can just fuss with it to get it the length that you want. And this side needs to be a little bit more. Let's see, there we go. All right, now I'll pull it a little more. Pull that one a little more. It's a little twisted, but that's okay because you don't really see the whole thing. All right, so let me just get my ribbon scissors here. We'll cut the ends. Whoops. Don't want to cut my finger, which I've done before. I'm sure some of you have as well. All right, and then I'm just going to roll a glue dot and put it on the back of this. And you know what, we'll put that aside for a quick minute. I want to put this one up on dimensional so that can go in the corner. So our sentiment Merry Christmas will go up on the dimensionals. And we're just going to put that right about here. There we go. Then this is all ready to go right here. And like I said, you're not going to see the center of that bow anyways, because we're going to put our holly berries on with the glue dot as well. So I'm just going to put one in the center there. If that one wants to come off, there we go. And then I'm just going to lay that. I just don't want this ribbon to fall too far down into the Merry Christmas. So it's going to do it anyways. There we go. There we go. So that's all there is to it. So here's the one we made. Here's the original. Thank you so much for watching, and all of my links will be listed down below. Have a great day.